The question that I thought was the most important to talk about this week is one that I've received several times in the past, but now seems like the right time for me to address this subject. The question is, what is the purpose of my life individually? Last week, my post was on the purpose of life in general as it relates to the universe and to spirituality, but today we're going to talk about the purpose of your individual life. I'm able to sum up what the purpose of your individual life is in one sentence, and then for the rest of this segment I'm going to go into what I mean by that. The purpose of your life is finding joy. If you had one goal on the face of this planet Earth, that would be it. That is the purpose of your life, of everybody's life, is to go in the direction of what you see as bliss. It's really the only true motivation there is for anything. So, the person who is living in the Middle East and crashes their plane into one of our buildings does so because they think that it will make them feel better to do so. When a woman sacrifices her work life for staying home with her children, she does that because she thinks it will make her feel better. When a person plays a sport, they do that because they think it will make them feel better. So the only motivation for any act in this universe, whether it's an act which is not in line with Source, or one that is in line with Source, is because the person thinks it will make them feel better in doing so. That's because ultimately we understand that joy is our purpose. And if we were to go in the direction of joy every day, thinking thoughts which felt good to think, going in the direction of what feels good to go in the direction of, there would be none of these heinous acts that you see committed. If we really made that the priority, we would be doing what we were intended to do here. I run across quite a lot of people who say that passion really isn't the purpose of life, and that is your indication that these people have sacrificed too much in their life. Passion is your indication that you're doing the appropriate thing. That's why your purpose can be no different than what you find passion in. It's because you physically in this body are the physical expression of your source self. And passion is the feeling, the biochemical feeling that happens when you are in line with that source self of yours. So if I'm going to hold my two fingers up like this, if I was to put them slightly off kilter, you could see how much less energy would be flowing from one into the next finger. But when you're thinking thoughts which are in line with your true self, which feel good to think, that's your indication that you're in line with your higher purpose and your true self, and thus all of that energy is flowing through you, and that's received to the biochemical model of your body as passion. That's why passion and joy is your indication of what you're meant to be doing. Your purpose in terms of what you are meant to do, whether that's be a lawyer or be a psychologist or go to this place or that place, will literally fall in your lap as a byproduct of you following your joy. Evolution in general is the byproduct of following joy. How do we lose this puzzle piece? When we're children, which is the way that this three-dimensional reality was designed, it was designed to be a place of contrast, meaning that you come down here and through the experience of lack of freedom, you give rise to the idea of what freedom is. But in this model, you come down into a family and they have their values, which they try to instill on you. Society in general does this. This is happening at multiple levels every day. But the second that a young child, let's say they're playing with a puzzle, the second that the parent says to the child, that's not where this puzzle piece goes goes here, you are pulling the child sideways of their own movement in their own direction. It is incredibly easy, even with the best parents on this planet, to be directed away from your own energetic direction where you are meant to be going. And if we start caring what other people think more than we care about staying in line with what feels good, then suddenly we are living a life according to other people's values and other people's beliefs and other people's direction and not our own. So that's how we lose track of where we're going, and life becomes one of effort. So finding your purpose is really a matter of taking the risk of caring how you feel. Taking the risk of following what feels good. That means changing all kinds of aspects of your life. Maybe what feels good means you've just gotten rid of that career which took you 8 years to achieve. We have to be willing to take the risk to go in the direction of what feels good if we want to find what our true purpose is, if we want to live in health at all. Because if you're not living in line with your purpose, then you don't have enough energy flowing through your physical body for you to stay in a space of health. I watch quite often in my business as people play their lives very carefully. And in doing so, it's like we're all here in this life where we continue to go in the direction of arranging it so that we arrive at death safely, which is so interesting from this perspective of Source in general. Why would you come down into a time-space reality where you are all going to die? There is permanence everywhere, and see that it's even a remotely smart idea for you to play everything safely in this life according to what your society says and what everyone else says you should be doing. But this takes me to another point. Your purpose is not going to express itself in what you're going to get and what you're going to achieve. Your purpose is going to express itself in what gift you have to give to this world, because a gift is an expression. You in this physical life are an expression of your source self. So that source self of yours, which projected here in the first place, had an original intention. Free will is pervasive, so you have a choice whether to stay in line with that original intention or not. But your purpose will always be in the form of, what am I meant to express here on this planet? That can be a daily thing, it can be a monthly thing, it can be a lifelong thing. You may have a huge purpose in terms of, I'm meant to help during this shift that we're all in, rise consciousness, but your purpose could be as simple as, I'm meant to do this art piece today. Your purpose is being expressed moment by moment, day by day. So if you would like to stay in line with what your purpose is on a day-by-day basis so that your larger purpose falls in your lap, you have to take the risk to follow your joy and ask yourself day by day, what is trying to express itself through me today? By doing that, you will end up doing what you're meant to be doing here. So I hope you can all have the courage to do that.